Looks like Kevin is in the building. Reporting on duty. Yeah. By the way, if you're checking me out for the first time on YouTube, welcome. You might think that is a mistake that you bumped into my ass, but I believe that it's not. So I just wanna, hey Radiance, Pusaleto, Mr. White. Yeah, man, I just remembered Breaking Bad, you know, when Jesse calls Mr. White. My jacks, tops, Nelzo, Mercy, Terrence. Today I want to deal with a very simple subject. My head is hurting from doing the classes about the chakras. We've been talking about chakras now for the whole week, bro. And yeah, I know. I'm tired, eh? But I just decided to come in tonight to be very brief if I can help it. A lot of us have just quite recently started with this spiritual journey. We've just learned about the chakras, or maybe perhaps you just learned about magic, or you just learned about the law of attraction, or you just learned about the Kundalini, or you just heard something about the Aquarian age, or you just heard something about the meridians, the yin and the yang, and the blah blah blahs. The meditation, the yogas, the incenses, the candles, all these other forms of so-called woke community. I just came to remind you that through all these things, don't forget about yourself. You're learning about the chakras, right? You're learning to go to the fourth dimension. Don't forget about yourself. When I say yourself, I mean your body. A great number of people that are on this journey tend to neglect their bodies. Don't neglect your body. Purify this instrument. You can be elevated, you can be conscious, you can be woke, but also you need to keep yourself intact. Because there's no use for you being able to be a psychic and your body is falling apart. You know? And I just thought maybe perhaps I should come in through and also to send a little bit of a tip. When you're learning about these things on this chakra world, being woke, levitating, you know, they'll give you so many material. Because, I mean, unfortunately, at this period in our age, we're going through what we call information overload. We are drowning in information. Any sort of information that used to be in the dark or hidden, it's all coming out. And I know that there's a personal inclination of feeling that you're not enough. Just because you don't understand what chakra is, you all of a sudden feel like you're not enough. You can't meditate, all of a sudden you feel like you're inadequate. You cannot be able to do yoga. I mean, I remember when I started doing yoga, I'm quite tall, 6'2". So now that position of sitting of yoga, that shit don't work for me, man. So this was until I realized that everything, particularly on the spiritual journey, if you start walking this journey by thinking that you're not enough, you're not going to get anywhere. Don't always wake up, you hear somebody speaking about yoga, or you hear an astrophysicist speaking about the black dots in a sun. They call it the sunspots. An astrophysicist then goes on to tell you that in actual fact, the sun is black. And this topic boggles your mind and you're thinking, ooh, I'm only learning about the first chakra and now they're telling me that the sun is black. Take your time. Take your time. This is the most simple and the most stupidest advice that I can ever purport to give. But for the people that have been on a journey, they will appreciate it. Take your time. Hey, Evans. So today you decided to look like, yeah, man, hey, man. Yeah, and the reason why I decided to come in a very gimmick color, which is yellow, which symbolizes your solar plexus, it's because sometimes we need to accept our divinity, man. The fact that you don't know what is meditation, it does not mean that you're stupid. Huh? The fact that you don't know what yoga is, it doesn't mean that you're stupid. Huh? The fact that you can't meditate more than a second, because I know there's a lot of people that cannot even meditate for 5 minutes. That does not mean that you're not enough. It just means that you need to practice more. You need to get the information because the information is energy and energy is consciousness, and energy that is converted to consciousness equals to magnetic energy. So the more and more you do something, the more and more you write it in your genes. So if you started doing meditation and you sucked the first time, it does not mean now all of a sudden you're not conscious. By the way, the act of you being conscious is not external per se. The consciousness that needs to be introduced, the light that needs to be introduced, it's inside. You are rewriting your genes. You are coding up your genes. This is not a small job. It's a huge job. Let me just fix up my fan. Fan wants to be part of the life. By the way, if you're here for the first time, tonight, fuck it, I'm not dealing with any complex concepts. Hey man, we've been dealing up with the chakras for the whole week, from the physical side to the non-physical side. By the way, do yourself a favor when you get the chance. Invest some time in studying what the fuck a chakra is. Leave these people that have been saying that chakra is an Indian concept. Leave them, Study the chakras, you'll understand that the only way on how you can get in touch with your true self is through those chakras. But I'm not talking about that tonight. Tonight I'm just here to remind you that you are enough. The fact that you don't know what meditation is, the fact that you don't know what yoga is, the fact that you don't know what a crystal is, the fact that you don't know what an incense is, the fact that you don't know what a spirit is, the fact that you don't know what the yin and the yang is, the fact that you don't know what the electromagnetic spectrum is, the fact that you don't know astrology, the fact that you don't know astronomy, it has nothing to do with you. All that you need to do is to work on your heart. That is why I titled tonight's talk, Don't Forget Yourself. A lot of us tend to be hijacked by the obsession of being woke. You think everything is about chakras, wherever way you go, everybody must just know about the chakras. People want to have a conversation with you in a frank way. You bringing up these new age terms, you bringing up all these fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Sometimes you need to remember and don't forget about yourself. Because part of this conscious journey or part of this woke journey, it's about you remaining grounded. It's about you earthing yourself. A lot of us can make a huge amount of progress on this journey if we were to be humble, to remain receptive. Because the next thing that comes after you thinking that you know it all, you're going to start becoming pompous and the world is going to humble your ass. Let me just fix the fan quickly. You like being part of this, né? Do the right thing, man. We know you know about the chakras, you know. You know about the spirits, you know about the angels, you know about the demons, you know the geometry, you know the numeracy. But how do you feel? Have you ever maybe stopped and said, hold on, chakras, magic, prayers, meditations, yogas, stop for a little while. Let me talk to myself. How do I feel? Because a lot of us get to be engrossed in these things that are external. And we forget. They call it what do they call it? Selective attention. We have this temporary forgetfulness that the energy that we're looking for, it's not the energy that is outside. They call it temporary amnesia. We get caught in this idea that a stone is going to heal you. We get caught in this idea that a chakra is going to heal you. We get caught in this idea that the book is going to heal you. We get caught in this idea that a gobela will heal me. We get caught in these ideas that a magician or a diviner or a seer or a TikToker or a YouTuber. That's why I'm saying, when you do all this work, don't forget about yourself. Especially when I'm on. Yeah, that is where the trick is, no Musa. You know, I'm glad you're bringing up this subject because a lot of people have this idea of them being attacked. One of the first things of people that are getting on this journey, they start speaking about spiritual attacks, ranging from different forms. Either you get attacked on your astral realm, or you get attacked on your physical realm. It goes by different names, but maybe it's a buloi, maybe it's a magic spells, depending on where are you. But I'd like to bust a little bit of a bubble of people that think that they are being attacked. To start with, nobody can inflict harm on your ass without your consent. Even the devil in the Bible, supposedly, if such a figure existed. Because for me, honestly, I think the Bible was just a mythological book, you know. We just happen to take it too seriously. We don't even want to make jokes about Jesus. I mean, like right now, if I was to say Jesus is wearing a dress, a lot of people are going to be offended. But from what I know, Jesus said for you to inherit the kingdom of God, you have to become like a child again. What does the child do? The child takes nothing personally. What does the child do? The child holds no grudges. What does the child do? The child doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. In a child's mind, the idea of fear almost does not exist. In actual fact, this is what biology says. When a baby is born with two fears. The fear of loud sound and the fear of falling. The baby does not get born with a fear of fearing ghosts. You know, in actual fact, the babies love ghosts. You know why? Let me just give you a bit of a story. It is said that the baby's brain, particularly the newborns, their brains are at what they call theta brain level. What is a theta brain level? The theta brain level, it's a hypnotical brain, meaning it's a brain that entertains the fantasy. It's a brain that is gamey. It's a brain that does not take anything seriously. So the baby, because they just came from the fairy kingdom, because remember, before you were physical, you were non-physical. You think this is all of you? Like, you think like now here, this is all of you? Mesmerized spirits, they are. Hey, Ntlantla! I'm just ranting around this evening. Yeah! Woo-hoo! I see that you want us to take this conversation deeper, but hey, no, I'm tired, bruh. We've been doing classes now for 2 days. I introduced the classes where I speak about energy at work. This is our first week. We now covered 2 classes. We've just been having some technical issues, but in those classes we speak about energy at work. You know, because the danger of people awakening too soon without knowing the fundamentals of the process of awakening. Because before you start getting awakened, before you can go to the 4th dimension, you have to fix your 3rd dimension infrastructure. What is your 3rd dimension infrastructure? Work on your grudges. Work on your hate. Work on your impatience. Because you're not going to take those things to the 4th dimension. I did a video about astral traveling because a lot of people have been asking about astral traveling, you know. And one of the things that I said was, when you do astral traveling, you don't go there in a physical body. You go there in much more subtler essence. Your true self, your etheric self. That thing that they call the aura. And you know what generates the aura around you? The heart. So if your aura is fucked up, it has a lot to do with your heart. And that takes us back to the chakra work. That's why a lot of people, when I started up this class, I said, I know that a lot of you guys are very advanced on this journey, you know. We got adepts in there, we got magicians, we got witches, you know. But I thought, hey, Valencia, ke khomoditse, dumela. So if you want to take it easy tonight, I'm just debunking some few things, ranting around. I'm not dealing with anything complex. I'm taking things from the rudimentary, basic level. Don't forget about yourself through this journey. I know that people that are in the WhatsApp group or even the class, there's a lot of material that they have to read, you know. There's book after book. And you feel like you drown and you're like, oh no. Don't feel guilty at some days when you don't want to do nothing. It's part of it. A lot of our demeanor when it comes to this journey, we like taking it too seriously. Sometimes you need to have fun with it, you know. Have a glass of wine. Get yourself a beer. You know. Sit under the tree. Play with the kids. Feed your dog. Doodle a bit. This is what I like doing a lot. By the way, you can find these books. You can find this school Crazy Store. This is the color therapy, anti-stress adult coloring book. The being essence is more important than the mind. Yeah! You know, I mean, like quite recently I got myself harmonica. I think it's 2 months now. What's the purpose of this? Nothing. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Ask yourself, how do you feel, my love? Not the chakras. Forget a little bit about the chakras. Forget a little bit about the numerology. Forget a little bit about the books. Forget a little bit about the third eye, you know. Because I know a lot of people are in class, but it's very unfortunate. For the people that are in the class, you can't forget about them because you're going to have to read, because the information that I'm sharing in there, it might sound fragmented, but it can be aided by the books that we're sharing in that WhatsApp group. By the way, if you want to be part of the classes, you can do that. It's 50 Rand a class. A class goes for like an hour. The reason why I started up with the class, I realized that healing, it's a number one step in this journey. I have one of those. Yeah, it's very good to have, you know. I mean, it's like when you go to Zen, before I can finish up the classes, when you go to Zen, by the way, Zen is part of Buddhism. I think it went to Japan around about like 500 AD. It's a bit of a history about Zen. Zen is that, I'd say, a way of living of least resistance. There's a book that is called The Tao, the Ching. This is the book that postulates the principle of Wu Wei. The principle of Wu Wei, what is it all about? Don't try too hard. I know that you've been trying to do meditation for the last 10 years and you've been taking it as a job. It's not a job. I know that you've been wanting to remember your dreams. As bad as your ass is, depending on it. By the way, on dreams, this is what I do. Probably it's something that can work for you. I have, I don't know where my journal is, but I always keep books around me, particularly when I go to bed. Because there's this thing with dreams. The moment when you wake up, you forget about them. And there's a science behind that. Remember, when you are asleep, you are in a theta mode. You're actually bouncing between delta, theta, alpha. Alpha, delta, theta. Meaning you are in a deep sleep. But the moment when you wake up, your brain waves, they gear it up a little bit. You go to high alpha. When you wake up, make some breakfast, you know, you wash your ass, you quarrel with your husband or your partner, or you make jokes, depending on your demeanor, because all of us are built in a different way, you know. There are some people that are just angry for no reason. You know. So now, after you do that, your brain goes from alpha to beta. When you travel to work, it goes to high beta. So your brain, the faster it works, the more it forgets about your dreams. So you tend to remember your dreams the moment when you wake up, because you're still in a drowsy state. You're still in a dreamy state. You are still in a hypnotic state. You still have a little bit of melatonin that is running in you. Melatonin, by the way, it's a natural drowsy drug. Or it's a natural weed that your body makes. By the way, it has a lot to do with weed because melatonin gets absorbed in your body through the cannabinoids receptors. Pow! I said I'm not going to be technical. Let's go back. Hey, follow me. Thank you very much for the follow. So for you guys that are here, we're taking it nice and easy. I just came to remind you that when you're going through this journey, forget sometimes about these things. Focus on yourself. Because remember, let's take for people that are into candle magic. Before I get to the candle magic, let me finish up my talk about the class. By the way, if you're here, welcome. You love what we're talking about, follow the brother. If you got nothing that you're doing with your hands, you can double tap the screen. Stop playing with yourself. You know? By the way, I shared the video on YouTube where I was speaking about the science of masturbation. For the people that love. And I mean, I know that you do it. You know. So let's get past the whole formalities of you are a pastor and a Christian. To hell with that, we know what you're doing. Hey Kevin, don't fall. So double tap the screen, and you can also gift if you got the hearts for it. But if you want to gift in a way that it can be reciprocating to you, you can gift by signing up to the class. The class goes for 50 rand an hour. This is our first week. We're busy building up the infrastructure. You know. But we're getting it through together. The people that are following the brother, I think they do understand that it's not about the shenanigans, but it's about the content that gets shared. Which is what I'm talking about today, to say, while you're going through this spiritual journey, don't forget about yourself. Treat yourself. Get yourself good sleep. If you've been lied to, particularly when it comes to food, because a lot of people have been lied to on this conscious journey about the food. There's been rumors that for you to be enlightened, you have to be a vegetarian. You know? So, I know that I'm going to be the enemy of a lot of people here, but here's the thing. Even if you were to become a vegetarian, if your heart is still bad and you're still hating, you not eating meat is not going to help you that much. You know? So if you are an angry vegetarian because somebody sold you some Atkins diet back in the days, or somebody sold you some, there was this big diet system that was in a Bunting, and you know that you want to have that verse, you know that you want to pierce through that chicken's thigh, you know you want to have that pork, but your pastor says that you should not have pork. You know. Yeah, man. So the trick about it is, you need to understand, why was it suggested that certain food should not be taken. There's this, when it comes to the nutritionists, there's this claim that if you don't eat meat, you're going to be vitamin B12 deficient. Vitamin B12, by the way, it's an offshoot of a fungi that you get from dead things. Meat, in case you don't know, it's dead food. Pizza, it's dead food. Dead food is also known as the yang, meaning it's too much electrical. It kills your body. Why then do they say to you, stop eating those food? It's because too much electricity in your body shocks your system. And when your system is shocked, the communication gets interrupted. It's like when you have Wi-Fi and your bars are not full. You're only walking around with 2 bars. That's what food like meat, pizza, takeaway. They say wine, but I don't agree. Because I mean, like, some people say alcohol, some people say smoking, some people say too much sex. Here's what I normally say to people when it comes to that. What does your body want? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what does my body want? Those things are sometimes called cravings. Do you think that when you have cravings, it's a coincidence? A craving that gets generated by your body, it's a signal coming from your internal system that I need this. Cravings are not the only things. It's not only pregnant women that go through cravings. Everybody goes through cravings. It's just that we're not listening. We've not been listening to our body. We've been reading books. We've been listening to Botsidi. So, like listening to a guy like me. Sometimes I actually laugh at myself. I be like, oh, okay. Because some of the videos, when I listen to them, I find that there's nothing of substance that I'm saying. All that I'm saying is I'm redirecting you guys back to yourselves. To say that don't forget about yourself through this journey, man. So if they told you that you should not eat meat, your consciousness level has the fucking nothing to do with your food. It has some part of it, but the whole show happens in your heart. And you know what's a funny thing about being a vegetarian? Studies have been done. Apparently, there has not been a record of any vegetarian that has ever surpassed the age of 100. Go check it on Google. I know a lot of people trust Google these days. Go check it on Google. There hasn't been a very, very pronounced evidence of people living longer because not eating meat. The shit is about the mindset. If you eat meat and you think meat is going to make you sick, the likelihood is meat is going to make you sick. If you light a blue candle thinking that blue candle is going to give you luck, the likelihood is the blue candle will give you luck. Does the luck come from the candle? Of course not. The luck comes from you. You took the candle, you looked at it, you said, blue candle, give me luck. And you lit the candle. Then luck came to you. It was not the candle. The candle was the proponent of the luck coming to you. The candle is like a formula. The candle is just like meditation. The candle is just like yoga. The candle is just like a form of prayer. These things are instruments. They are the means to the end, not the end by themselves. The same with religions. But I find that a lot of us operate from the point of lack. We have this written program at the back of our heads that we're not enough. That's why we keep on going out looking for things, looking for solutions, looking for healing, looking for gurus. And you know what happens in a guru land, right? Should I explain to you what the guru is? According to Sanskrit, this is a language that is used a lot in Oriental texts. Your likes of the Mahabharata, your Vedas. It has a lot to do with Hinduism. The Krishna, the Vishnu, the Brahman, the Atman, such and such and such, right? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, if you're here for the first time, a bit of a commercial before I can forget. Follow the brother. It's an instruction, by the way. Otherwise, we don't lawyer, I'm just teasing, man. Follow the brother, like the page, sign up for the class. This is our first week. We've covered now 3 chakras. Your root, sacral, solar plexus, the heart. But now in the class we breaking it down to the wave spirituality, because the way on how you do your chakra work, it's like you're recalibrating your communication system. A lot of us only know the physical side of the chakra work, but it's not all of us that know that your chakra is divided in 3 forms. You got the front part of the chakra, you got the middle part of the chakra, you got the back part of the chakra. The back part is feminine, the back part is masculine, the front part is feminine, right? The front part is the yin, the back part is the yang. The front part is a subjective one, the back part is the objective one. What does chakras do? Chakras are like your USB sticks. They save memories. Just like the child developmental stages. Somebody said a child remains in a hypnotic state until they become 7. That's how exactly the chakras work in a Hinduism system. You develop chakras with 7 years interval. Your first chakra, your root chakra, your red chakra, you develop it from 0 to the age of 7. But I was not there. I was speaking about the guru. The guru is divided in two, or the epistemology of guru, it has 2 words. Gu-ru. Gu means darkness. Something that is opaque. Let me show you. This is gu. This is ru. This is gu. This is ru. This is gu. This is ru. What does it mean? Darkness, dispeller. Ru means dispeller. So guru is a darkness dispeller. What is the darkness? Trauma. A lot of us are not really doing the work. We think it's all about going to the 4th dimension. Hey sister, hey my brother, may we work on our traumas. I'll give you an example of how the trauma plays out. I don't know you are on number what relationship in your life right now, because a lot of people have a very extensive record. You know? And I can bet you right now, I can actually bet the last money that I have in my bank account, which is not a lot, by the way. But if you want to make it better, you know, you can give to the brother, man. I can bet you right now that, what was I talking about? I just saw you were saying something. Also, don't mind me today. I'm not dealing with anything complex. You can even see my demeanor, you know. I just came here to remind you that sometimes you need to forget about the books and focus on yourself. Because the greatest part of information is going to come from yourself. I was just explaining the process of guru right now. Guru means darkness, dispeller. Gu, darkness, ru, dispeller. You're supposed to be doing that for yourself. And now, I find that a lot of people don't want to become their own gurus because they don't want to face the darkness. Gobela gotta do it for you, you know. I want to fix up the light. Let me fix up the light because it's getting a bit dark. Oh yeah, you know what I mean? And then there was light. Oh, I wanted to get my incense running as well. Oh, by the way, I'm done with the guru business, right? Because it's all about healing your trauma. Heal your trauma when it's It takes time though, because dealing with the darkness is very peculiar. Remember, right here in the West, we grew up with a concept of when things go right, we say God. is good. But when things go wrong, there's this guy that we have, that we've generated. The Bible calls him the devil. But we don't understand that all that it means is, amen, I'm a very good guy today. You know, you think you can get me? You know, now I'm getting my water, man. I was having some in here. I just ran out, you know. I was having it in a Pac-Man. Nice, ne? So, the thing is, we've been taught that we need to run away from our darkened places. And we don't understand that by running away from our darkened places, aka traumas. Because remember, what the brain does to run away from the trauma, it sweeps it under the rug. Like with the case of relationship, I can bet you right now, you are not the same as your first relationship. What shaped you? Mainly trauma, painful breakups, painful memories. Instead of being open, you started closing, thinking that people are out to get you. But now you don't understand. By closing, you are also closing out the potential love that can come in your life. What caused it? We don't want to deal with the traumas. We don't want to heal ourselves. We don't want to go to the shadow. Because the church says the shadow belongs to the devil. Ain't that a bitch? You know, how can something that you need to be dealing with be relegated to somebody holding a red fork? Because that's how the devil is depicted. Somebody that is under the, you know, the world. And if you sin, you know, if you can have sex before marriage and you don't ask for your sins to be forgiven, you might end up in hell. Hey man, yeah, when is this thing gonna end? These are nothing but figment of our imaginations. I'll tell you what, particularly speaking of that, I have a book here about religions, where this concept of hell was postulated by Saint Gregory, or Pope Gregory the 8th. This is the guy that got the, I'd say, the likes of the Nicene Creed. In case you don't know what the Nicene Creed is, the Nicene Creed was a meeting of some sort where the popes met to discuss how Christianity should be like. Some of the few books were taken out, and the concept of hell and heaven was formed. I don't know how far you with your journey with spirituality, but if you haven't worked on your heaven and hell concept, it's going to take a while. But don't lose hope. It takes time. And here's one of the biggest issues that religions did to us. And not only Christianity. Here's the biggest issue that it did to us. Somehow religions are leaving us in a state of destitute. What do I mean by that? You feel like there's something that needs to come and help you, not yourself. So you are becoming a voluntary victim. You are in a state of reactive mode. Because something has to bless you from the outside, you know. When I know the people that do the law of attraction, when you sit there and you meditate and you do your mantras and your affirmations, you think that something that you get is coming from the outside. No, it's not coming from the outside. It's coming from the inside, generated by the frequency, generated by the waves, generated by the biosphere that your heart generates. By the way, you connect with the universe through your heart. Not so your brain. Your brain can give you 1,000, your heart can give you million megavolts. Your heart can go as far as 50 feet from you. This is what the aura gets formed, or this is how the aura gets formed, or the Torah, or the energy field, the electromagnetic spectrum. So now the more you do the work, the more your heart expands. What is the work? Forgiveness. One of the biggest work that we overlook is giving. You need to learn to give. You know what giving does to your heart? It makes the blood flow better through and in your heart in this way. Giving is a form of flow. And not only money, it's not only money. A lot of people, particularly when you just came from church, you'll think that when I speak about giving, it's money because you still have scars. Yeah, man, you still have scars. People have been taking your money and telling you that they're sending it to God. Kanyisile, thank you very much. Somebody actually gifted me. Malesele, Kyaleboa. Oh, by the way, if you want to sign up for the class, you're still welcome. It's 50 Rand a class. Technology is just showing us a bit of a flame. But that's what normally happens when people of the same frequency conjure together. They tend to generate a certain amount of energy. But, let me speak about something else. So if you're new here, you can follow the brother. If you love this content, a lot of people have been saying that I should put it on YouTube. I've done that. It goes exactly the same with my breaks, with my fans, with my laughter. I edit nothing out of it. So you can go check it out. And remember, while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. To like it as well and to comment. Just one of the few disclaimers before I can get out of here. If you listen to me up to this far, I don't promote any form of religion. I don't attack any form of religion. I don't sell any form of religion. I don't sell any form of spirituality. I'm not saying you should go to church. I'm not saying you should not go to church. I'm not saying you should not do nothing. All that I'm saying is start listening to yourself more. Start appreciating yourself more. Start engaging in a state of flow more. How do you start flowing? The acts of giving, the acts of prayer, the acts of meditation, the acts of forgiveness, the acts of letting go. By the way, giving is also a form of letting go. And now, how do you know that you're suffering from the inability of letting go? There are people that are sitting right now in their houses with like 3 microwaves, 45,000 pair of shoes, clothing items that have never been worn in 10 years. You got 5 cars, and there's people like us who don't have a car. Why not donate? So what happens with it is like this. What manufactures or what manifests in your physical is what's happening inside of yourself. By the way, the people that cannot be able to let go or give, they tend to suffer from what is called hoarding. You are a hoarder. And unfortunately, when you hoard, you also hoard bad things. You can't let go of old memories, because you are a hoarder. You just love holding on to things. Holding on to things also causes constipation. And I know you don't like constipation. Nobody likes constipation. Fuck no, nobody likes constipation. Constipation is horrible, bro. Constipation means eating your own shit. Because that's what happens. If the shit can't go out, the shit comes back. It gets reabsorbed in the system. That's why a lot of people that you tend to deal with, they're full of shit. Shame. It's not their fault. But partly it's their fault because a lot of us don't want to let go. The reason why I'm saying don't get stuck in a belief. I know a lot of people that got stuck in thinking that meditation is the end of it all. and they've been doing meditation now for the longest amount of time, meditation is not the end of it all. I know a lot of people that have been stuck in candles, and you thinking that if you don't have a candle in your house, dark spirits are going to come. Hey man, what's going to happen if the world runs out of candles? What's going to happen if the world runs out of crystals? What's going to happen if the world runs out of books? What's going to happen if the world runs out of TikTok? What's going to happen if we all die? I'm trying to show you guys that the power, it's not on the outside. It's inside. I'll finish up with this. If you are in a certain form of religion, any form, I don't give a damn, frankly. If you are a Christian, if you are a Hindu, if you are a Jew, if you are into the dark sciences, if you are a witch, if you fly with a broom, if you are a magician, if you are a tarot reader, if you are a yoga instructor, if you are a mythological student, if you are whatever that you are, don't let these fuckers convince you that you need to leave your system, including myself. Because I know a lot of people that are stuck in that. Can I be able to do spirituality while I'm still in Christianity? Yes. There is a sect that is called Christian mysticism. Christian mystics. They are known as Gnostics. There's a part of Christianity that is also called Christian Science. So don't be thinking that when you're doing meditation, God is not happy with you. No, man, this concept of God as well, we need to understand. Here's how the concept of God came about. People saw this big energy and they could not cope. They didn't know what to call it. So somebody said, we'll call it God. What does God mean? Generator, operator, and a destroyer. Female, male, and the son. John or Joseph, Mary, and Christ. Isis, Osiris, Heru. Just a bit of mythology. Because you can't help it but try to explain it a little bit further to say, this thing of God, it's you, right? We're done with that. So, I actually even forgot what I was... Oh yeah, this is what I was getting to. Any form of religion or any form of system that you are in, use it. If prayer rocks your boat and you don't hear anybody on a spiritual journey talking about prayer, find a little bit of information about the people that were Christians but were practicing spirituality. Because spirituality, it's a little bit of an antithesis of religion, but they're not enemies. Spirituality merely means that you listen to yourself more, you listen to your divine self, you listen to your true self, you listening to your soul, you listening to your heart, you listening to your intuition, you listening to your God voice. So now if you are a Christian, you can listen to that doing your prayer. And by the way, this thing of hell and heaven, if you do a candle, you're going to go to hell. Hell is nothing but the low state of mind. Heaven, it's nothing but the high state of mind. What makes heaven and what makes hell? Why do you think I've been talking about thoughts so much, healing so much? Lower part of your body is called hell. Higher part of your body is called heaven. The lower part of your body has 3 lower chakras. The higher part of your body has the 4 major chakras, which is your heart, your throat, your thymus, your pineal gland, no, your pituitary gland, your pineal gland. Pituitary feminine, pineal masculine. Pineal excretes white substance, pituitary excretes goldish substance, the land of milk and honey. Sounds familiar? But nonetheless, I'm done. If you're new here, just like Lebza, thank you very much for the follow, Lebza. And if you want to join in the classes, we're discussing the higher dantian next week. Actually, tomorrow. We have a class that we're hosting 6 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to be part of the class, what you can do is get hold of me on the site. In the class, I discuss the chakras in huge context. We break it down from the 7 chakra system. We're talking about it from the 12 chakra system, right? It's a little bit esoteric. Esoteric does not mean devilish. Esoteric means understood by a very small percentage. Exoteric, Meg-G and Skomota. Esoteric, lympathetic system, endocrine system, neurological system. Talking about your spleen, talking about your liver, talking about your chakras, talking about the kundalini, talking about the pituitary. When it's esoteric, it's out of a lot of people's attention. Skomota and anything that is viral, that is part of exoteric. 99% of the people are there. Left and brain. Esoteric, right and brain. Feminine brain, masculine brain. Electrical brain, magnetic brain. So if you want to be part of the classes, send me a WhatsApp so that we can put you on. We're doing it, we're trying the platform that we're going to be doing it on. Last night we used, what did we use? Zoom. I think that this time now we're getting the logistics of Teams. We're going to be doing it on Teams. It's an hour, a session, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7. We already spoken about the lower dantian, your root, sacral and solar plexus. Spoke a little bit about the heart, but I'm going to expound a huge time tomorrow speaking about the heart as to how is it that you can be able to do your astral traveling, for you to do your dreams interpretation, because it all starts in here. And also from here, where does this energy go? Because the energy, because we bipedal, it goes on a vertical. But now there's ways on how your energy goes. You know, you got your yin and the yang. You got your wax on, wax off, top, down, down, up. Because that's exactly how the Kundalini flows on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to wait for the full moon for you to be awakened. Make your own full moon, man. These people that are waiting for the moon magic. By the way, for you freaks about the moon, the shit is going down tonight, right? I don't know if you've heard about the update. Before I forgot about it, I'm so glad that the spirit led me to it. There's a whole shit happening tonight about the Pluto being in the Aquarius, the energy conjunction and blah, blah, blah. There's experts about this. But here's what I have to say to you guys. Remember the whole story about the planet Pluto? There was a whole lot of hula hoop about, does this planet exist or does this planet not exist? And the people that actually made this planet not to exist, it started back then in the 17th century. If you don't remember what happened in the 17th century, there was a guy by the name of Rene Descartes. Rene Descartes is the guy that came with a quote that says, I think, therefore I am, but it's not the end. He also said that pineal gland, it's the seat of the soul. But here's where he got it a little bit wrong, or a little bit questionable. He started thinking that the mind and the body are separate. Why I'm talking about this? You'll remember the planet Pluto started being polarized back then. Polarizing meaning you shifting it out of the physical existence, because these 7 planets that we normally refer to, these are the planets that we can see with our physical eyes. Are we still together? You know? So Pluto symbolizes pituitary or the pineal gland. Either one of the two, depending on the extent of polarization. So when they say now Pluto, it's in the Aquarian age or in the Aquarian whatever, it means that the veil between what is seen and what is not seen has become very thin. So expect to see ghosts tonight. You know. So dreams are going to be a little bit messy. If your day has been going a little bit topsy-turvy, it's as a result of that energy upsurge. So you're not sick. Your heart might have been beating in a very different way where you feel like it's blowing out of your chest. That is just nothing but your genes encoding, because all of us right now, whether you are a Christian, whether you are Hindu, whether you are Muslim, whether you are yogi, whether you are whatever, everything that is on the face of the earth is going through what they call genetical upgrade, whether you like it or you don't. How do you like that? Because you are the product of the earth, you are the product of the matrix, which is the mother. So when the mother says, let's go, everybody has to go. You know. So now the time is that's why I'm saying pray a lot, fast if you're fasting, gift if you have to gift, let go if you have to let go, smile, laugh, eat good food, sleep, forgive a lot of people, let go of a lot of grudges, start doing the shadow work, smile a lot, judge very less, if not at all. But mostly, don't leave yourself out of the picture. I don't know what's your drug of choice. Some people do weed, you know, some people do wine, some people do beer. By the way, love is also a drug. The emotion of love, like the emotion of laughter, releases a chemical called oxytocin. Oxytocin is known as a love hormone. So now when you laugh, your body then radiates with oxytocin. Now, when your body radiates with oxytocin, it starts sending ripples in the universe. You start seeing a lot of things that make you happy. But when you're sad, you send ripples that are attracting things that's going to affirm your sadness. So now the game onwards, it started, the Aquarian age started back in 1965. You're only finding it out now. You know, it's just that right now the veils are being torn, things are getting a bit clearer. They call it the twilight zone. You might find yourself having a feeling of being trapped in two worlds. I mean, like for me, for the last 3 days, my vertigo came back. What is vertigo? Vertigo, it's that, I was telling the people last night about it. Vertigo is that state whereby I feel everything is upside down. Literally, I'm sitting down. I even have actually had to change my chair. I'm sitting on a ladder right now so that it can balance me. Because any day I feel like the world is... But a lot of people are going through different things. Some people might be going through some incessant periodical pains, particularly for the women. Their menses are out of order. You're not sick. But if it's becoming too severe, obviously I'll urge that some people are literally going through genetical shift that they can feel, like that one of the heart. If you've been doing the work, your heart literally expands and it gets bigger. And if you feel that it's something that you cannot be able to handle, go back to what you know best. If you grew up in a Bible belt and you knew prayer as a form of your path work, don't take it lightly. Prayer works. But now you need to understand that now when you pray, you're speaking more to yourself. Because remember, God became man, and man has to spend all his life becoming God again. This is what you find in John 10:34, Psalms 85, Psalms 82, Isaiah 44, the last. There's a lot of scriptures. You can check it on Google where the Bible says that, isn't it written in your laws that ye are gods? So now you going and looking for something that's going to save you outside. It's going to elongate your journey. But for now, don't forget about yourself. Fuck all these people that say that you should leave your church. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, including myself. All that I'm saying is, know that when you speak about God, every time when they speak about God in the Bible, substitute your name. Your life will start changing. Every time in the New Testament when you see Jesus, substitute your name. It's a game. You don't have to take it too seriously. You don't have to necessarily scrap off the names, Just have it in your head, because all is mind and mind is all.